In this video we're going to look at how to prepare display tiles in CasaXPS so that they can be transferred through the clipboard and inserted into a document so that the appropriate font sizes and line widths etc. are used for a document where there is limited space. The space available for the display of data in normal routine data analysis mode is different from when you want to include a figure in a paper. So the fonts and the grid that might be plotted over the data, they're all designed to help understand the data as you analyze it. On the other hand, when you're publishing data, you want it in a particular format. So the default display mode is automatically loaded when Casa starts, and this can be obtained using the reload default display files. There's also an alternative to these default display files, and this represents a different set of fonts and display settings that could be used for managing a display ready for publication. So for example, I might want to prepare a pair of auger lines from carbon, and I would like this now to appear in a form that I can transfer and place within this publication in a Word document. If I bring up the annotation history, I've enabled a mode that allows me to see a given dimension for an image. So I've set this one up to be appropriate for the paper that I'm working on, and this means that I can make adjustments to the display in terms of the display area so that I can see how big an area I've got when I try to prepare fonts. So that's the type of area that I would expect to be able to put into that publication without having to alter the dimensions of the graph. So the next thing I need to do is alter some of these display settings. These strings here are on the right hand side, and these are displayed because I have this draw key ticked, and if I put this on the left, then that looks more appropriate. I've got a lot of real estate used up here for labels on the y-axis. I think I would rather not have any of these. So on the y-axis property page, I can turn off the label, turn off the axis scale, so that's these values here, and I'm going to include some tick marks by indicating arbitrary units, but I don't have the label printed, so we just see the tick marks. Then we've got binding energy, and these are auger peaks, and the natural energy for auger peaks is kinetic energy, and that's because the auger peaks appear in kinetic energy independent of the excitation source. So varying the photon energy does not alter the kinetic energy for auger peaks. So I'm going to use the kinetic energy label, and I've got this display in such a way that it's close to the size that I would expect for the printing. We do one more thing, and that is to just display these data only without any others in the scroll list. So now I can use this button which says copy EMF, and the size for the EMF is determined by the area here. I could actually specify a size here, but I'm going to use the area that I've organized in this form. Take the dimensions from the display screen, and when I bring up the document, this is where I've prepared the position for my image, and I can paste, and I end up with the data now displayed using the fonts that were appropriate that I could see within CasaXPS, and they look almost the same within Word. Now, enhanced metafiles are a set of drawing instructions, and these are being interpreted by Word. So I can now rescale this within Word, and it will adjust both the data, the width of lines, and the font according to the size that I use. So I can make adjustments here. If they were bitmaps, then the pixels would limit the ability to adjust and still maintain a good quality image, whereas the enhanced metafiles in principle should allow these images to be prepared with much more flexibility after the fact.